Hello, citizens of YouTube. This is the Geeky Nerd here, and today we're going to be talking about how much ammunition you should have. Hopefully, probably, maybe. So first, before I begin, I'd like to send a big thank you out to everyone who has subscribed. I greatly appreciate you guys and hope you guys are enjoying the content. Would also like to thank you to everyone who's been putting a comment in the comment section of a few of other videos, and including this one. It's been really good engaging with you guys and having that, banter communication back and forth and just getting your, opinions on a whole vast array of things. Also, like a thank you out to everyone who has liked the videos. I guess you guys are enjoying it then. So I hope I can keep it up here. First, let's get this off the table, my Space Force Gucci Glock. Keep a lookout on the channel for that. I'll be doing a review on that here. So, ammunition. How much should you have? I would say at least for me, again, this is all my opinion here. If you want to go out and buy 10,000 rounds, go right ahead. But for me, I classify ammunition in three different categories. One, I have your ready use ammunition, the one you keep loaded in your bedside firearm, and the stuff you take to the range for range day, or the stuff you just have lying around that you're okay plinking. The second type, I would say you have your specialty or lesser used ammunition, your subsonics, your specialty hunting rounds, your premium box stuff that isn't used except for like hunting, or again has that specialty purpose. And the third type, I would say, is your long-term storage, don't touch it unless you have to, ammunition. So to get to the short of it for number-wise, if you just want to hear that, for your on-hand ready stock ammunition, pull out the cabinet, go to the range, use for the day, have in your gun, what have you, I would say have at least 500 rounds. It's a pretty fair, safe number. It isn't a whole lot to where you're going to break the bank with it. It's enough for you to go out and have fun for a range day if you take that as your whole supply. Although currently, in the current climate, I wouldn't recommend it. People in the future, go have a blast. Pun intended. And with that, so 500 rounds, pretty good ball number. For your specialty, lesser known ammunition, unless it's like something you shoot quite frequently, like 7.62 subsonics with a suppressor, which have 1,000 rounds of these, which is just because use this a lot and always good to have, and use actually a little bit more than the ball now. But for your specialty ammunition, like your hunting rounds, your lesser used, like your 8mm Mauser, where you only have one Mauser, you just use it for 4th of July, what have you, I would say about 250 rounds. Just saying that because, again, you're not using it that often. It's not your primary weapon, and it's just needed. And yeah, it's enough to train with a bit, but then also enough to still go out on that hunting trip, or go out and do whatever tickles your fancy there. And for the third type of ammunition, it would be the long-term storage one, which you have here, the M855 Battle Pack 5.56. For that, I would say have 1,000 rounds of it. And 1,000 rounds, good number. Not a whole lot, but it's enough for any situation you could possibly run into. I know people say you should get 10,000 rounds. You've never, can have it, but it's like, realistically, if you ever have to use ammunition, I mean, you're maybe, you might have to go through 3-4 mags in a given session for any kind of conflict or whatever you're addressing. And if you're in a survival scenario, 1,000 rounds, if you're sparse with your ammo and you're only using it to either, mainly take game and get food for yourself and your family, then 1,000 rounds should be plenty. And of course, you could barter for additional ones, but not to go down that path. But 1,000 rounds, good solid number. And again, mainly staying budget focused here, to pick up this, of course, to pick up any of these in this current climate is not recommended. Of course, when the market improves from the ammo shortage. And if you want to hear about that, check my other videos out. They should be here up at the top at the end of the video. But for this, 1,000 rounds, don't touch it. Forget you even had it. Don't run out of 500 here and then dip into your 1,000 here. This should not be touched unless you absolutely have to. So for me personally, I prefer 7.62 39 AK. Good solid round, 30 caliber round. Can pretty much get all the job done. Now, I'm not a diehard AK guy. I do prefer AKs, but I appreciate and enjoy ARs exactly the same. We're not discriminating against any rifles here. But just me personally, I prefer 7.62 39. And for this is just, stocks of Barnaul that I've got from previously. Classic Firearms has been keeping these pretty good in stock. And I like Barnaul especially just for the fact that Barnaul ammunition that makes 7.62, which it doesn't put a whole lot of merit in. Obviously, I'm not like Russian Special Forces over here, but they are the actually preferred ammunition manufacturer for Russian Spetsnaz, which is just a good little notch to them. So Barnaul 7.62, good stuff. It's lacquer coated, can't go wrong. And for pistol, 9mm Parabellum. This is S&B. This is the good stuff. It's a gold bar here, boys. Yeah, good stuff to have, especially now. But 9mm, again, 500 rounds. So at least 500 rounds of this on stock and at least 500 rounds of this stock. Now, you can't go more if you feel like you want more, just want to have that bit more security. But I'd say don't try to go crazy overhead and get all this different ammunition, get tens of thousands of rounds. I mean, unless you feel like you have to, but in my humble opinion, it should be more enough to get the job done. Now, the only caveat to exactly what I just said is 22 for just for the fact of how cheap it is. So for 22, I'd say around 5,000 rounds. So just one more extra zero. It doesn't make that much of a difference, right? 22, it goes fast. It's dirt cheap. And it's just good to shoot and good to keep up your training and keep up your sight acquisition and just do training. If you don't want to have to burn through the bigger calibers and use expensive stuff, you can use this if your rifle has a conversion kit like an AK22 conversion or a AR22 conversion, which is a heck of a lot easier. And again, if you want to check out a video, I did a review on the CMMG, check it out here on the video at the end. So 22, good stuff to have, 5,000 of those. So moving on to specialty ammunition like this 7.62 Subsonic. So if you have an AK and you like AKs like I do, Subsonic ammunition, the poor 300 man's blackout or 300 blackout, you know what I mean. Good stuff, cycles reliably. Now this specialty ammunition Subsonic in particular, it's very close on the verge of breaking the sound barrier, like within 50 feet per second. So sometimes you might get a crack, sometimes you might not. But if you're running out of a shorter barrel with a suppressor, with a can on it, you likely won't hit that velocity. So it'll keep it pretty flat and quiet. Again, poor man's 300 blackout. And for that, I only keep 1,000 personally, just for the fact of shoot a lot more than even the standard ball ammunition, just because cans rule, right? And for the specialty ammunition, again, you have your stuff like this is 30-06 180 grain fusion hunting rounds. So only 250 of this, just because don't shoot it that often, only when you go out hunting. And still a little bit for training, but it doesn't break the bank. Also, for the fact of all of this, standard ball ammunition for this usually costs about half of what the specialty costs. So these are like 25 cents a round when the getting's good, and these are around 50 cents a round when the getting's good. And same thing for this. Well, 30-06 in general is always a bit more expensive. These run on a good day north of like 75 cents a round, but this box in particular, these usually go about $1 a round, just again, that specialty ammunition. And for the not so special ammunition, and just the lesser used one, like here, 8mm Mauser, 4 metal jacket, bow tip, 198 grain. Only say about 250 rounds of this as well. Just the fact you don't shoot it that often. It isn't your main rifle. If you ever have to fall back, like if you run out of this and you run out of this and you run out of all this, at least you still have 250 rounds of a more than enough potent round to use. So good stuff to have, but I would by no means stock up on any of these. I mean, unless you prefer. Again, specialty ammunition here, I was saying 250, but I keep 1,000 just because shoot a lot more often than any other specialty ammunition. So it's almost not specialty. It's specialty in the sense of it's not like the common cheap stuff that you want to go out. But if you're feeling frisky that day and want to put your can on, by all means. And then finally, with the long-term ammunition. So long-term ammunition, you shouldn't have to ever touch it. It is, in this case, it's in these battle packs from PPU, which I like PPU as well. They're all sealed, all nice. Put these in a one of the ammo cans, put a little silica decatessen, or however you say that, in there, and you're good to go. You don't ever have to worry about it rotting, corroding, getting water damage, or anything like that. And you should never think about this as like if I run out of this, I'm going to go to this. No. In my opinion, this should be literally put in the closet and forgot about it completely until that day, of course, when you need it, because you shouldn't go out of this 500 rounds and then start dipping into this. This should just literally be put it away, forget about it. It's gone forever until the day you need it, because when you do, you'll be glad you did. And yeah, so I mean, with that, it's kind of just generally my overtake on how many rounds you should have. Now, again, don't get too fixated on getting this round, that round, all these ones. Get whatever floats your boat, whatever you feel. Again, it's just my opinion here. But it's just a different viewpoint of what I've seen a lot of people say. A lot of people say, get 1,000 rounds of this and you're good to go, and then get 5,000 rounds of this. But they don't ever say put something away to the side, to where if you notice, people, they'll buy 1,000 rounds of this, but then they go, okay, I burn 100 here, 200 there, and then before they know it, they haven't restocked, and now they're down to 250 rounds of their stuff, and now they're freaking out because now they only have 250 rounds. To where if you do the model of keep 500 and then keep 1,000, you know that even if you run out of this, this is your fun go plinking stuff. Even if you run out of this, you know that you still have a rifle that will, have ammunition and not just be a very heavy club, very heavy and expensive club. You have that stashed away. So, like doesn't that panic or that fear that kind of sets in with, your own personal shortage of ammunition. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry it's a bit of rambling here, but just wanted to give my viewpoint on it. I thought it was a little bit different than what people have, but it's just how I take my slice of the cake. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please throw a like, comment, and if you would like, subscribe. I've been uploading or trying to keep upload on a regular schedule here of just content you guys are seeming to enjoy. If you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see in the future, or you want a video to talk about, or a topic of discussion, throw it in the comments section down below. I'll kind of talk with you, and if it's a pretty good idea, then we can make a video about it. So again, hope you enjoyed, and I hope everyone watching this has an awesome, fantastic, spectacular day.